Well, I wasn't ready personally,
I don't
but
remember which one of these is mine. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Humor Highwire.
mine's number 3. You guys will find out what that means in a second.
Welcome in. You know it's an episode of Humor Highwire when Ian CK pops a mint in his mouth.
Hey, you know what? Look, I've had some allergies lately, and I'm trying not to poison our recording with my lung hacking. Okay, be nice to me.
Hey, listen.
I guess
I could
it's a
start the
cough
printer
drop.
up.
That's true. It's
That's
not
what
a
it is.
mint.
They are Ricolas, not a
You guys
I
sponsor.
like how you held that up like we're not being gatekept from talking heads.
Yeah,
Dude, just put them in. It
Look,
doesn't matter.
we can do 2 talking heads and Matt.
And then wait, we could do two. We could hear me out. We can do 2 talking heads, and then shameful title card over where the third head should be.
Yes, I'm okay. You're editing this week, so you might as well do it.
So yeah, listen, everyone. Today, what we have in store for you guys is nothing short of excellence.
Wait,
We're
hold on.
segueing.
Pause. Wait, how do you say that? What is that? What does the accent do? What?
Dude, I don't know what it says.
The
I just say the
clown?
clown.
Like-
It's probably the clown.
the clown?
Did you put that in there?
Yeah.
That's an ism from a dear friend of the show, at one time almost collaborator, Dan. Dan, if you're
You were gonna be like,
listening-
this individual is a blah blah blah. No, Dan.
no, calling him out. Dan, if you're listening, this is definitely a Danism. Dan likes to take his letters in his name whenever he puts it in things, and he does these like Danisms, I call them. And that little thing you did with your clown, that's definitely a Danism.
Do you know why I did it?
Why?
All right. So when I first adopted the clown as my name after my first one, the clown was taken. So then I tried the biggest clown, that was taken. Then I tried the clown with the alt code 148, and then that gave me this letter that I don't know what it's called, but that wasn't taken. And so now on League of Legends, I can play as the clown.
It's good.
Like it's like you're the clown. Like
Yeah.
I like it's something like that. Like
clown.
the clown. Okay.
Have to be wary of the
Yeah.
clown.
Sounds like an actual like mythical figure that'll come out of the haze and entertain you for hours on end, but you don't really
that's what
like
they'll
it.
do.
Yeah.
Remember when there was all that news about like killer clowns?
Okay, you know what?
Come out of the woods.
We're not talking about that. Okay? We're not talking
Speaking of mythical figures and like deities and like things that are beyond like reality, we're actually doing a draft today, and the content that we are
whoop.
the content that we are drafting today is actually spells from Dungeons and Dragons, which is a fantasy tabletop RPG that all of us are involved in. We actually have a segment dedicated to it on this show.
Yeah. It's such a integral part of the show that I accidentally titled it in our little recording to be Table Talk and not a draft, because I forgot this was a draft and not a table talk.
Integral.
So, yeah.
We've done a whole one. Have we done 2?
Yeah, we've done 2.
We
did the Beach Beholder, and we did
the
Can Trip You Up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've done it twice.
But this is a draft. Get it right. That's what it is.
This is a draft. This is not a table talk. This was inspired as a result of a table talk.
Yes.
If you're enmeshed in the show, you know, if you're from a faraway land, not from the U.S., and you listen to the show, then you know about this. So thank you.
What land
this
is
for you.
Out of curiosity.
There's quite a few of them now.
One of them is
we're
a
getting more
Caribbean.
of
One of them is a Caribbean island nation under the Kingdom of Denmark.
Yeah,
We've got a
We're
couple
getting
downloads
more-
there.
we're getting more widespread. So, beyond talking about spells, I would appreciate it if we, instead of talking on Discord, if we were instead focused on the podcasts right now, not to call
What are you
anyone
talking
out.
about? What are you
Nothing.
talking about? Nobody's on Discord right
Listen,
now.
here's what I'll say. I would rather be on the podcast than talk on Discord, which is something else we're going to be going over today in our first segment. But before that, this.
It's time for the humor Highwire.
What is happening? What did you? This is because you're on Discord.
No,
and you
I
messed
actually-
something up.
I didn't do anything. Notion, or not Notion, sorry. Whoops. Riverside just popped up. It said, "You're not recording anymore."
It said no, you can't
Yeah.
be here anymore.
That's exactly what it said. And then I was like, "Oh God, I better fix this now." So I hit the refresh button. That all happened in time with the thing. And what was crazy is I could still hear the intro going. So I was like, "Oh my God, I have like a total of 10 seconds to fix this."
That's crazy.
You were actually punished for being off topic.
Yeah,
I'm
there
not
you go.
off
Our
topic.
platform.
Yeah, there you go. Riverside was like that. Yeah, and now we got a little. I don't know how this equates in the recording, but we got a little talking head shuffle happening there, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a talking
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, now you got the little logo there, so you have something, anything.
The-
Rip to our editor, whoever that mysterious person is.
What
Yeah.
do you mean,
They
Rick?
get a fun little mix up on this one.
Whoever
Wow.
that Justin might be. So yeah, like I had alluded to approximately 48 seconds ago, our first segment of this beautiful podcast is Would You Rather?
Would you rather?
So the transition for that is a lot better.
So
It's like I don't know what the the newer ones they have. I think it's
they got
because
the
the newer ones
music.
have the music in the background and
Yeah.
it like pulls you into it. Then all of a sudden it's like we're doing something else now.
So one thing I'm noticing with the talking heads format that we're doing here, this awesome talking heads that's clearly staying.
I like it.
when we do the transitions, it's just we all sit here and look at the camera.
No. We're gonna.
Well,
adapt.
you can look. There's stuff you can do. You can like fade in the title card, or you could we could even do like a thing with Canva where it's like would you rather, and it comes back, or like we can do title transitions and stuff now
Editor,
instead of it just being
There's
there.
I
put Mr. Waternoose on the screen.
Mr. Waternoose.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great episode. It's gonna be a great episode to edit. It's gonna be a great one.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. So you're gonna have so much creative freedom with this particular episode. You're gonna have so much to work with. It's gonna be great.
I like the
Like a
gray
little
around your head.
butterfly, my wings will be free.
What? Okay. So we have 3 would you rather questions that are not so hot off the presses, actually. A little peek behind the curtain. We have decided going forward that all of our controversy corners are going to be standalone episodes.
I
the
don't
one
know
that
which episode you're talking
Yeah,
about. Right now,
it seems like every time
Random.
we've done controversy corner, it just goes super long, and then we have to rush through the second segment. So from now on, any controversy corner we do is going to be its own thing, and these would you rather's were supposed to be part of one of those
Wait.
episodes. So they're not. At least you're making it entertaining. Like, do Do you want to go? Do you want to go first, clown, or excuse me, clune?
I don't think that one's mine.
Okay,
Are
is the first
So
one?
you want to go in order? Okay.
We don't have to go in order, but
No,
like,
that's fine.
No,
You know
we should
what?
go in order.
Okay.
Keep it simple, you know.
All right.
You're a little
So
blurry
our
on my
first
end.
question, according to show doc order, because apparently that's what we're doing here.
very neat and
Would
tidy.
you rather have a toilet that sobs quietly after you use it, or one that loudly demands more?
Read this, actually. We've
I-
had this here for over a week, and I have not read it until now. And that is awful.
I mean, this is why. Why? This is a question between: do you want to be harassed about your regularity, or do you want to feel bad every single time you have to go? Like that's what you're choosing here.
Stop giving the toilet sentience. This is
It
the
has
second time-
sentience in the question. It is a clearly
I
sentient
know.
toilet.
This is the second time we've done this to the toilets.
Oh, is it? What was the first time?
I think it was during a draft. I don't know if this ever made it. It might have been during our lost episodes.
Oh, the
possibly.
forgotten episode.
The before
What?
times.
But we did a draft on things that we would make sentient, I think.
I don't
And
recall
so
this, but it has been some time.
I chose like plants or something, and someone chose underwear. I think it was Ottengroff.
How could you have chosen plants? They have chlorophyll in them.
Well, that was a different draft.
I was being a silly goose.
See, you're always bringing up your war crime. Like, it's.
I'm
like
glad it's just one. I'm glad it's just one war crime.
Well, that was the war crime.
No. It wasn't just one war crime.
So let's answer this
Speaking of
question.
war crimes.
So would you rather have a toilet that sobs quietly after you use it? Oh, after you use it? That might change things. Or one that loudly demands more? I'm assuming that means after you use it. Okay.
I would assume, because more means like you have to have used it.
Yeah,
At some
there has
point,
to have been something there to begin with. Yeah.
You know, God, pass.
No, that's not the point of this segment.
I hate both of them.
That's also the point.
Is it the point? This is a terrible would you
Of
rather.
this particular question, yeah, they're both terrible options. You got to choose which one you would rather choose. That's the point of the game.
All
So
right,
listen,
I'm choosing the sob quietly because then I don't have to hear it.
that's what I was gonna say. Look, the toilet has feelings both ways. This much is clear. And it's discontent both ways. But in one way, my feelings have a chance to be spared.
How selfish.
But at the end, it's only my feelings that have a chance to be spared.
Okay. Clarifying question. How long does either thing last?
Dude, it's until you use again.
See, but no,
No.
how would that make... That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
But no, it
it's
doesn't
gonna
make any...
loudly demand for more until you use it again.
No, I don't
Or
want that.
alternatively, it's going to sob quietly until you use it again.
I don't want that. It's only... The toilet's only reprieve is while it's actively being utilized.
Well, in one of these situations, it has no reprieve.
Okay. Okay, so here's my answer. It is contingent on the layout of the bathroom. Because newer bathrooms, larger bathrooms, the toilet is in its own specific small little room. And if it is one of those, I'm going to soundproof it, and I'm going to choose the loudly ask for more one, because I would feel less bad about that than the toilet sobbing
What if
for all
it's
time
during?
unless it's being used.
What if it's during too?
Oh
Like,
my goodness! Honestly,
hear
I
me
think it would be
out.
funny. I think it'd be funny if they were loudly yelling at you
No.
while it was happening. Yeah,
it would not be funny. It would be terrifying.
I think it'd be if you knew it was going to happen. I think it'd be funny.
Editor, put up my face when toilet yelling at me to do more.
When toilet yelling at you,
Yeah.
grammar, man, grammar.
Listen, editor, just put it up there. You know what to do, editor.
He said, No. Okay, let's move on to the second one. We've all put in answers for that. It's awful either way, and that's where we're gonna sit. So who had the second one?
It's me.
Who was that? I'm sorry, I didn't see who was talking.
Would you rather have slightly wet socks all the time or never have clean socks?
Never have clean socks, easy, because slightly wet socks invites trench foot, fungus, and other diseases of the podiatry persuasion.
Same with unclean socks.
Yeah, so I just wouldn't wear socks. Easy.
Solid response.
Easy choice.
I guess there is that, they didn't say you have to have socks. But let's assume
Slightly wet socks is also a very upsetting texture. I would never wear that ever.
How okay, if you had to wear socks, how dirty are the dirty socks?
It doesn't specify, so
Well, you can
I
never
think-
clean them.
Right, but like if never having clean socks doesn't mean that you have like socks that have been soaked in mud and awful. Okay, because the beginning part of it is slightly
Yeah.
wet socks, so you would assume like the dirtiness is in parallel or in proportion rather to the wetness of
so
the socks,
slightly
right?
Dirty. So, I mean, like what I imagine for the slightly wet, it's like like when you take your laundry out of the dryer, and then like sometimes the dryer just didn't dry it all the way.
So damp. Slightly
Well,
wet usually
not
means damp.
Not sure, whatever you want to call it. So you take them out, and you're like, well, I gotta go to work, and I forgot to take these out. I have to go now, and you put it on anyway. That's just your existence for all time, or it's you have crusty socks. Maybe not crusty. That's not nice. It's like if you went outside on the beach in just your socks.
Okay, well, it's still an easy answer for me. I'm taking the slightly dirty socks because, once again, even slightly wet socks, you put on shoes. If you're a person who has to move around a lot and has to put in a lot of miles, you're inviting not only like fungal infections and stuff like that, but blisters, because moisture inside shoes and friction creates blisters. I'd rather have slightly dirty socks and just wash my feet afterwards than have my feet just be obliterated because
But they're gonna smell, dude.
Yeah, I would rather them have a slight smell than like have trench foot.
I don't know.
That's
guess
my choice.
I'm gonna choose the never have clean socks also.
Really?
Yeah, so
You're fighting so
one of
hard
us-
against
one
it
of
for a
us has to
second.
one of us has to be the devil's advocate. So
No, that's not
go
the
ahead,
game we're playing today.
Autograph.
No,
Tell us why
that's-
you would always have slightly wet socks. Editor, put up the gotcha meme that it totally exists.
I'm not putting up any of these.
It's also like that's not the game we're playing. You don't. Everybody could be on the same page. There
Yeah,
is
but
a
it's
right
not-
answer to this one.
It's not interesting if nobody sits in the villain's chair, So
Okay,
just
well,
saying.
if you think things are disinteresting, then it's your
I'm not saying it's disinteresting. I'm just saying two of us gave answers, and
the onus
us
is on you to
didn't.
make it interesting if you think it's not interesting.
dude, look at my head. How is that not interesting?
It is the
Backwards,
epitome
dude.
of uninteresting.
I don't know why it's backwards.
It's not to me, but anyway.
No,
Is it
it's
really
to
not?
me.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not.
on mine, dude, it looks like Russian.
Well, you are the clown, so you're closer to that now. But anyway, so I'm assuming Justin, you're taking the slightly dirty socks one. as
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I admire not having trench foot.
well? Okay, so that'll take us to the third one, which was mine. Would you rather spend a year on the International Space Station or a year on the surface of the moon? Now, to clarify, this is with the assumption that you will not instantly die if you're on the surface of the moon. So you have apparatus to, at the very least, keep you alive for the year.
Okay, so you can You've got food, water, toilet that talks to you. The
Nope,
essentials.
you don't have the last one. No, it's
So
just a
you're
just a regular waste disposal module. Yeah.
a year on the International Space Station or a year on the surface of the moon. These are
Jarvis,
both...
flush my waste.
Right away, sir.
What the hell is happening? So you're in
Fun
space with
is
both of
happening.
these.
Yeah, it's my would you rather. Are you really that surprised?
Yes, because you could have chose like in the ocean, like on a submarine or on a submersible, like the Titan.
That's more of
Would you
you
rather
territory, my guy.
Would you rather spend a year on the International Space Station or a year on the Titan?
No, that's not the question.
Complete with rock candy.
You guys always do this. You guys always
Xbox
co-opt my
controller.
would you rathers and just turn them into some other.
Oh, what?
And he's gone.
Oh, no!
And he has no background.
You got doxxed, buddy.
Yeah.
The veil is plucked.
Yeah, it does
What
seem like
happened?
that. It was just like, hey, you can't use this anymore.
Not only that, but it disconnected you for a second.
Of course it did.
All
I can't even. I can't even put it back. Hold on. It won't even let me put the damn thing back. This is
Great.
No, this is not great. I don't like
behind
this.
the curtain, literally, guys.
Yeah, this is not great because now I look like trash.
Audio listeners
tech
love you to death.
Is not teching.
This is the first episode where we have a format that's, well, second episode that with a slightly visual aspect. Visit youtube.com/humorhighwire to check.
Don't worry,
out.
guys. I'm gonna give you some Ethan Klein eyebrows. While we're
Okay,
waiting.
so that's Oh, he's gone. Not only is what you're saying problematic, but Ian left. You are straight up making fun of a man with Tourette's.
I'm not making fun of him. I'm idolizing.
You're making fun with him. My bad.
Yeah.
You idolize him?
No.
Okay, I was just checking because I was about to drop some facts. Ian's back. Dude, this has been the best recording session ever. Asmongold does eyebrow things too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And then you gotta tilt the head and, show your lack of teeth in the back. Oh, he's back.
Hi. So
we were talking about Asmongold, friend of the show, said he's gonna be on
No,
at,
none of that.
30 million.
No, that's true.
You can't just dip from the podcast, come back, and then tell me what I'm saying isn't true.
I 100% can. It's
Anyway,
very easy to do.
Back to the task at hand before you left us high and dry, Ian. We were talking about
But slightly dirty.
Whether we'd rather spend a year on the ISS
Mhm.
or a year on the surface of the moon. My answer to you is going to be the ISS.
No context. Love it.
You didn't ask for that. You asked for an answer to the question. I gave you an answer, and now we're here.
Okay.
Can I ask why?
I mean, you can.
Would you answer me?
I might, depending on how I'm feeling.
Okay, so I'm asking the question, why would you choose to spend a year on the ISS?
Why would I choose to spend a year on the ISS? I feel like it's safer, one, because I've got shelter. Whereas on the surface of the moon, the shelter's not implied. I mean, I guess you do need some kind of shelter in order to survive. And in your context to the question,
Mm-hmm.
Technically, we would have everything we need to survive. But aside from that, there's a lot of amenities and comforts on the ISS.
Hold on. Did you just product placement something? This is what it looked like. It's what you just did. You picked up a bottle and you went, and turned to see the label. Now take a drink.
Anyone that wants to sponsor us, check it out. We're totally viable.
I can't even see what the label says.
People for
it's just it's a cute. Oh, it's Minecraft TNT. Okay, I'm just gonna cover what this is with my hand.
Yeah, it's usually what you do when you're not sponsored.
Yeah. We have no sponsors yet, so we'll
Well,
get there one day.
well, technically,
This guy,
what is happening?
he's product dropping. He's like, oh hey, companies out
Anyway,
here.
So
We
back to what I
we
was.
use your
what the
stuff. Do you wanna maybe give us your sponsorship?
What the fuck was I saying?
You said it would be safer on the ISS because you have shelter, and then you realized
Safer. There are amenities and stuff. So, it's got like workout rooms and like you can work out on the ISS. I mean, you kind of have to. It's important to work out when you're up in space, otherwise you lose all your. God damn, he's just moving thing. Okay, stop, stop. What are we doing? What are we doing here? It's a full bag of cough drops. Yo, dial 911 on that, John.
all right, I'm gonna do it live on the pod. All right, we got 9.
Kids, copy him. Oh, it's over. You have to restart. You gotta hang up. You gotta restart.
No, you have to take it off the hook to
You
dial
already
the
messed
number.
it. You're right.
Yeah, so that's
You're right.
that's somehow.
I'm glad that you're actually dialing it because that's salvaging the audio.
Yeah, it's great. It's good stuff.
This is the most unusable 10 minutes of.
No, it's great. It's fantastic.
Recorded.
As the Clune likes to say, they love it.
I'll turn on the printer.
That's just whatever, man. Ruining my fun. Anyway, so you're choosing the ISS because you like it better, essentially.
Not just I like it better. It just has more things. It's got more going on. It's built for this.
Okay,
The moon's just a fucking. It's just a fucking rock, dude.
that's a position to take. Yeah.
And you can see the Earth from the moon. ISS. My question to you is, when we go up there, and I finally prove that the Earth is flat, there was no question after that.
Justin, what would you pick?
I'm going to go with the International Space Station.
Really? Okay. Why?
I'm going to select the International Space Station because I think that I like the idea of the man-madeness of it, if that makes sense. There's a better adjective to put there, but my brain is not functioning right now because
Something that's been like mechanically designed by people.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
engineering. He likes the engineering.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's been manufactured. And
And
I
not
think
by
there's
Elon.
a homeliness to that that would make the isolation that you're encountering
Wait,
when
what?
you're
What isolation?
there's a degree of isolation that comes with being separated from the vast majority of humanity in space.
They got the
Even
internet,
if there
dude.
are some people there, you're not dealing with the majority of the planet. You're not dealing with like walking out of the house and getting to get in the car and go to your favorite fast food place. You're not getting to do the vast majority of mundane tasks. You're not going to be doing most of your daily routines. There's a lot of things that you're missing out on that most people get to take advantage of. And I think that what you'll be craving most of all, especially once you get 1 or 2 months into this year stay, is humanity. And so I think that the International Space Station will be a nice stark reminder of what that is. And so because of that, I think that is by itself of enough of a winning factor for me for that location.
That's a really well thought out answer. I choose the moon. There's more to explore. There's more to do. The moon is basically like a small planet that you can explore, and I think it would take me longer than a year to explore it. There is a little bit more inherent danger, like I could fall into a crater and die and whatever.
Hit by
But
a meteor.
I think cool. The ISS can get hit by a meteor too. I think
Yeah, but which one's going to survive?
the moon. If
How
we're
do you
talking about volumetrically, it's the moon.
If the moon's not real, then
Anyway,
That's true.
there's an element of danger to it, like I could fall and die and all that sort of stuff. But I personally, even though there's more connectedness to the human race, as it were, being in the ISS, I think I would go bananas being in such a small space for so long. So that's me. That's my choice.
Fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. Not a super funny one, but it's a good window, I think, into the mindset of someone you'd ask that question to.
This guy doesn't care about humor.
No, I care about the intellectual Highwire.
So when are we changing the name of the podcast?
It's time.
Think by
It's
Humor
It's
Highwire.
time to do our draft now.
Is there supposed to be something playing?
Is there something playing?
There's nothing.
Oh no, it was on preview. All right, take two. Here we go. It reloaded, so it sent it back to
Bobbing
preview.
his head.
Yeah, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to draft.
Whoops.
This is just
Look. I'm a professional, okay? I never get anything wrong.
We've been doing this a quarter of a year, guys.
Look, hey,
And it's finally the last episode.
you
guys. We did it.
look. Using the media tracks is something relatively new. We've only done it for a few recordings now. Leave me alone, okay? Jeez, I'm doing my best here. Draft.
All right, so
yeah, pick a wheel.
obviously he's already finished doing the picker wheel because we've known that we were doing this draft.
He's not doing it at this very moment.
I'm never on the gun with that. You
Yeah,
guys know this.
It's his one job. His one job for the podcast. Dude, guys, youtube.com/humor highwire. Please, every time I say that, it's indicative of Ian CK doing something messed up.
I'm not doing anything.
He had 2 cats prior to this recording.
I still have 2 cats.
Yeah. He's trying to gaslight you guys, audio listeners. Check out youtube.com/humor highwire.
How would the video recording tell anybody whether or not there are 2 cats still in existence in my home?
He had 2 cats. Tell it to the judge.
Where did this even come from? Like, why are you just like, he's a cat unaliver, I guess.
I didn't say
Like,
that.
what?
I didn't.
You're
say
implying it. It's highly
that.
implied.
I didn't say that.
You cannot say a lot of things and mean a lot of things. Okay, well,
guys, my internet's moving really slow, but I want to let you know
still happening
that we do have a draft order.
Okay.
Sure?
Oh, like as in an order for the draft, not like we put in an order for a draft.
As in, we have an order for the draft. The order is going to be, oh my word! Come on, internet, you can do this.
Okay, well, while that's getting figured out,
it's going to be Matt and then me. There we go.
Okay. So I have a question before we get started. For these spells, do we have the ability to ritual cast them?
You just removed like a huge component to spell casting. Like
no. It's okay. So that majorly changes what I end up picking. But I'm also going last, so I guess I'll have to wait.
I mean, I guess there are a lot of rituals.
First level spells? There's a butt ton of first level ritual spells that are extremely helpful if you can just constantly ritual cast them. But if you have to use slots for them, they become much less helpful.
Oh, darn. I get 2 castings per day that basically turn me into a god.
Okay.
God on this planet.
Okay.
That we call Earth. Oh, woe is me. I'm only partially a god twice a day. Woe is me.
So the parameters for this draft are we're choosing 4 spells in the D&D catalog of first level or lower, so first level or cantrip. And we're doing this through the lens of first level spellcasters, which means that we only can cast 2 of the spells if they're level 1 spells per day. And we cannot ritual cast them, which means, for anybody who doesn't have any idea what I'm talking about, ritual casting is a mechanic in the game where you can take longer to cast the spell, but you don't have to use like a spell casting resource for it. You essentially can cast it for free, but it just takes you longer. But we can't do that. So that's a thing. So Matt was
Me
first. The
first.
Clune.
You know-
Vacloon.
I have like 12 spells pulled up. The problem is I haven't decided which one. I
Well,
wanna be
you
able to
gotta
cast.
do that. Time's ticking away.
How awful do I want to be? Should I stay on brand?
I think you should just pick what you think is the best one.
Oh man, I gotta have a plan here. I'm gonna take Find Familiar.
Yeah.
It just kind of
It's
does a
in
lot.
in the current context, it's like the best thing you could have chosen, because even if you only cast it one time, you just have it until it dies.
Yeah, and I
Ugh.
can call it. I can dismiss it. I can like it could be like any like small little animal. It could be my eyes and ears. I can cast touch based spells through it. So my other 3 spells, like if I took something like cure wounds, I could send my little owl or my falcon over to someone who's dying and cure them from afar. You know.
Yeah, it's a really good spell for the context.
Yeah.
Some might say it's probably one of the best spells you could have chosen.
It not just in this context, but in the context of D&D, it's a great spell.
Oh yeah, if you're a spellcaster and can take Find Familiar, you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, it completely changes my game plan. In that case, for my first pick, I'm going to have to pivot and probably dip into the cantrip pool.
What? Why? All right.
Because there are a lot of cantrips that are super helpful.
Is that
and
legal?
yeah, it's either first level spells or cantrips.
I didn't even look at cantrips.
Mm-hmm. And so I am going to do a nice little callback to episode. Well,
Episode, the one that it is.
I don't
name an
know.
episode. That's not.
I don't know what number it was. To be
The
honest
episode
with you.
when we did the table talk about cantrips.
You don't know what it's gonna be because you never know what could happen between now and then. You know.
Yeah. And I am going to take Prestidigitation.
Nice.
Because that is just a pet cantrip of mine for the real world.
Just can't use it on your socks.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation, for those of you who are not from Rwanda, this cantrip is used for basically a bajillion and a half different utilities. You can clean things with it. You can
It's specifically
do
soil.
little
Use soil.
tricks with it. You can do little flares with it. There's a lot of like efficiency effects with it, basically, that you can use just to make your quality of life a little easier, basically, at home. It's a very like Harry Pottery spell, is the way I like to think about it. If it's like a Weasley household chore kind of thing, you know.
All right, you just put me on the topic, and I'm sorry. I have to tangent here about the Harry Potter universe. I realized that probably like the most overpowered spell in Harry Potter is Reparo, because
It's a very good spell.
There's literally, it feels like there's no rules. You just, something's broken, now it's not. Any size, any shape, it just goes back.
Somebody's been playing Hogwarts Legacy.
No, but I have in the past, and my God, Reparo is insane.
Yeah, you can just fix whatever you want, man.
Yeah,
Statue of Liberty broke. Reparo, bro.
yeah.
It's better now.
No effort, no sweat off my back.
Yeah, let's just add to the incontinuity of that universe and how nothing really actually makes any sense. Okay, so for my picks, because I'm at the end of the snake, so I get two. My first pick, kind of being on the callback train, is going to be guidance because it's just good. It's just good, and if I am ever playing a character that can take it, I will because it's just good. If you didn't listen to the cantrip episode, guidance essentially gives you a small bonus to whatever skill check you're trying to roll. So if you're trying to do something athletic or sneaky or something knowledge based or whatever it is, it gives you an extra bit to roll to get your number up. And in kind of the realm of statistics, it's anywhere between 5 and 20% better on your initial roll. So I think it's really good. My second pick is Goodberry.
Nice. Yeah,
I was thinking
Yeah.
about that one.
So
Fantastic.
Goodberry is a spell where you essentially make 10 berries. They last for a day, but in the real world, this is broken. Because essentially what you get to do is each one of those berries is equivalent to a full day's worth of nourishment, like magically. You just eat one in the morning and you're not hungry for the rest of the day. And it heals you for 1 hit point. So if you're feeling a little sick, you can eat the berry and you probably feel better. So yeah, I choose good berry.
Average human has 4 hit points, so
Yeah. So if you're sick, you take that good berry, you're probably good.
yeah. It cures cancer,
Yes,
they say.
That
indeed. I don't know about that. Your first one was guidance, correct?
yeah, so guidance
Okay.
and Goodberry.
Okay, good. Rolling back to me in this one, I have to claim this before someone else takes it. Look, everybody has dreamed of flight. I don't have access to that yet, but I can take the next best thing, which is that I can fall safely. I am going to be taking Featherfall.
Oh no.
It's so good.
Featherfall, for
It's
people
so
who are
good.
not familiar, basically allows you to fall from basically a great variety of heights without
Anything you
taking
can
any
fall
damage.
within a minute.
A potential so mechanically 600 feet, up to 600 feet safely.
Oh, that's right. That's right. 600 feet. That's a
Well,
lot of
and
feet, dude.
if you have 2 castings of it,
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
so
you
1200
could
feet.
technically
you
do
could also
1200
cast
feet.
it at the 600-foot mark and be good.
There's also the whole like you can now skydive and never have to worry about your parachute
Yeah.
not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Conquer your fear of heights. Never worry about them again.
You can go
Just
on the
make sure you're
airplane.
carrying a small feather with you because if you don't have it, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
that's the
Yeah.
the
Just
downside
like
there.
just like I will have a twig on me at all moments, all
you
times.
could, as you're going down from the plane crash, you could find a bird.
Just snag a bird out of the
Yeah.
air.
Be like, sorry, buddy.
They're not very nimble creatures, and they're never expecting it.
They aren't.
Birds?
Nothing's higher than
Birds
They
are-
fly, so
They're very cocky when they're in the sky.
Yeah,
They're very cocky.
they can't look up.
Do you realize that like there are birds that hunt other birds, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
those are the
but
ones
from our
that aren't
height-
expecting you to get them. Their
Yeah.
feathers are so easy to obtain.
So quick, so easy. You're in the plane's going down.
You grab
run
them
up
like a
feather.
cobra, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay, guys.
A
Crazy
2 for
town.
me, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I was thinking I could take good spells, or I could take some stuff for a theme. So I got Find Familiar. My second spell, I'm gonna choose Disguise Self. So as the spell implies, this spell would magically allow me to change my appearance. I think it can be up to a foot in height difference. These are not real changes. Your body doesn't physically grow or shrink, or change its look. But
Well, specifically its look.
well, it doesn't. actually change the physicality of your body.
No,
It just
it's an illusion.
makes you, it's an illusion that makes you look like a different person, essentially. So that would be my second pick. Now my third pick, I'm gonna go ahead and take Charm Person.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So here's what's
Okay.
gonna happen, everybody. Here's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
The clown is going to disguise himself to look like some popular figure, and then he's going to send his familiar, which is going to be like a fluffy, nice looking cat, and going to cast Charm Person on them through the cat. So now this person is supernaturally inclined to be like, oh, hey, I like you. And now the clown is going to be like, hey, do this awful thing for me because we're friends.
But what could that awful thing be? Stay tuned for my next pick to find out the rest of the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be something bad.
It is no longer my pick.
Yeah, it's my pick. And now I'm worried. So
you should have been worried the moment we started. I don't know, like, why you thought this was going to go any other way.
now I'm very worried.
One could say you might be alarmed. Did I?
Yeah, that's a spell. I get it. Like, I know.
I like how it was, yeah, that's a spell. Good job. It's so funny. Ha ha ha.
This is commonly my effect on these two. They just kind of look at me deadpan. They're like, oh.
No, I'm panicking right now because I need to be away from whatever's happening over there.
How much damage could I do?
I
at level
think
1?
no. I think that now,
mind you, I only get 2 castings per day.
No.
As per the rules.
I think I'm gonna take the spell Expeditious Retreat.
You're taking Runaway, the spell?
Absolutely.
Hey, he's back.
For anybody who's been paying
Expeditious
attention,
Retreat.
you'll notice things have been slightly changing every time I turn the camera off.
Check out my name.
I hate that.
Expeditious Retreat basically lets you run really, really, really fast.
Without
My
provoking
theme
opportunity attacks, right? That's a thing?
is I make my life really easy so far with my prestidigitation, and then I survive.
I survive. I love that.
Go ahead. You've got 2 picks.
Okay. So, lost him. I remember what my last pick is. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I took guidance to be slightly better at everything I do. I took Goodberry to save literally thousands and thousands of dollars worth of groceries every year, and also the ability to feed homeless people every day if I wanted to, or anything like that, something altruistic. Now I need some things that are going to push me over the edge in certain categories as far as like just helping me be better at stuff. One of the things that has always eluded me is the ability to speak other languages. I've tried multiple times, and it's just something I've never put enough time into. But unfortunately, tongues, the thing that lets you speak any language, is a 3rd level spell, and we can't do that. So I'm going to take the next best thing, and it's going to be Comprehend Languages. Comprehend Languages is a 1st level spell, and when you cast it, you basically understand any writing anywhere forever. Not forever, so long as the spell lasts. But that means I could pick up a book from anywhere in the world and be able to read it, which is huge. It also means that I could immediately and accurately decipher ancient text that we're not 100% sure what it means, or have no idea what it means yet. So that's pretty cool too. And my last one is going to be one essentially to help me protect myself in general, but in a non-violent way. As we all know and have established in the previous table talks, the standard humanoid has about 4 hit points. So that makes this spell pretty good for that. I'm going to choose Sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep is a spell. It depends on which version you're using. In my mind, I had the old version where you roll a number of dice, and then based on that number of dice and then the area that you cast it, a number of people, a number of creatures fall asleep based on the number of hit points they have, starting with the lowest number. But assuming that all people have generally around the same amount of hit points, I could make, a band of 4 or 5 thugs trying to stab me for my money just fall asleep. And I think that's pretty cool.
Great spell.
Yep, so that's my last pick.
Okay. So I like living life safely. I like living life easily. But sometimes people back you into a corner and they try to charm you, and they disguise themselves, and they sneak up on you, and they try to manipulate you, and they leave you no other choice, and it comes to blows, and there's only one thing left to do, and that's that you have to defend yourself. And so most people have 4 hit points, and so I think that this cantrip should be enough to handle most people. So my last cantrip is going to be Eldritch Blast.
Lovely.
Now, I swapped in my mind back and forth between Eldritch Blast and one other thing. At first I thought, 4 hit points, okay. So maybe he doesn't want to immediately just end people. So maybe he's going to choose Vicious Mockery, because all he has to do is say something mean. And then he might not kill them, but it'll hurt. No. He might take Eldritch Blast, because that's almost a guaranteed,
As long as
unaliving.
I'm trying to get away first. That's first manner of business. But if
Sure.
I'm chased down and they're not getting the message, it's blasting time.
Sure.
Are you
It's
gonna
blasting time, baby.
are you throwing out a warning shot first, or are you just nope?
Yeah. Because I get 3 shots of those suckers. I'll throw out a warning
No,
shot.
you don't.
No, you
No,
don't.
you
You're a
don't. You get
level 1
one.
caster.
You get one.
You're a level 1 caster. You get 1.
I get 1, but I get 1
Yeah.
per 6 seconds.
True.
Yeah,
You get
every
1 per
6
6 seconds.
You get one.
So you shoot one off, and then you hope that's enough to deter them for 6 seconds, and
The
they either
answer
run away
is-
or you blast them.
I've got an SMG, so
No,
how
you know
many
what?
Eldritch Blasts are really gonna hit me? You know?
No, you know what? If they're chasing me,
With a gun, that's it. Blam, you're done.
if you've got a gun and you're chasing me, you're getting blasted. We're gonna prerequisite.
Who
that
said
one
I
right
had
away.
the gun? It might be
Not
my
It's-
you.
bird.
it's
I'm
you.
just saying in the
It might be my
metaphorical you.
Did
Whoever
you say
that
your
you
bird
is,
has a gun?
Little monkey's
The
got a
fine
gun,
familiar
dude.
bird
Yeah.
is strapped, man.
That bird with 1 hit point.
Opposable talons.
Oh my god.
The metaphorical them. If they're strapped, they're getting blasted.
You won't even metaphorically, if they had disguised self, you probably wouldn't even know if they're strapped or not.
But here's the thing: the moment that you pull out a gun, the disguise isn't disguising that anymore. It's a gun.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why I did this, but still,
Well, what if I disguise it to be a pair of scissors?
it doesn't work that way. You're disguising yourself. You don't disguise your equipment.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you
man.
get new clothing.
There's no DM on the streets.
You get new clothing. Clothing's
You,
equipment.
you get an illusion of new clothing. If you reach
Which means
into
you get
your
an illusion
illusory
of new
clothing
equipment.
and pull out a Glock, it's
Dude,
just a Glock.
it's open carry. Not reaching anywhere. It's just there, man. My pair of scissors. Anyway, it's my turn, yeah?
Any threatening vibe, go to sleep.
It's my turn, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, you guys thought I was going to be violent with this last one for some reason.
And you were
I'm not
right.
even
Chromatic
using...
orb.
And I'm not even using these spells on you guys. See, the story I wanted to tell
Is one of crime.
is one of crime and a love for money. And so
You're robbing a bank.
the best possible spell for me here would probably be something along the lines of distort value.
Yep.
Because now,
disguising himself to look like somebody completely different. He's gonna walk in with his cool little monkey. He's gonna charm them and be like, "Hey, you see this rock? This rock's worth like $10,000." I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, it is. I'll take that 10 grand for your rock." And then you're gonna walk out, and they're never gonna know who you were, and the charm's gonna wear off, and they're gonna go, "Oh no,
so let me explain my
crime."
my perfect crime. I walk into the bank disguised as ex-security guard that I've been making friends with over the past 10 years. I know their mannerisms. I'm going to practice their voice. I'm ready. My spider is going to climb on to fellow security guard. This is the one that I'm disguised as is not working today. So there's no problem there. I walk in like, "Hey man, I left my lunch in the vault yesterday." As my spider charms the security guard, "Can you let me in? I forgot my key card." Or whatever it is. They let me in. Charm person. No problem. I'm in the vault. I've already got this charm on the guy. I'm gonna grab whatever it is I'm looking for. Maybe a couple bucks here and there. Whatever it is, I'm distorted. Well, I actually can't distort the value right now because I've already used my 2 spells. Find familiar. I've got 10 years to cast that one. I'm good. So I'm gonna take this gold bar. We'll say I'm gonna bring it home. I'm gonna bury it. Maybe, who knows? Put it somewhere. They won't miss it. And then what I'm gonna do is daily I'm gonna distort the value down until the day of sale. This isn't the gold bar. This isn't the gold bar you're looking for. This is a completely different one. Look, it looks completely different. 8 hours. Distort value lasts 8 hours. Alternatively, I can have my eagle fly it somewhere.
I don't think your eagle will be able to pick up a gold bar.
Get many. I've got 10 years.
You can only have one familiar at a time.
Yeah.
Let me look into the logistics of the eagle and the gold bar.
Also, like, why are you bothering to like lower the value of one specific gold
Well,
bar?
I can raise it when it's time.
Yeah, but like, why would you lower it in the first place?
In case they find it.
Gold bar weighs 27.4 pounds.
Depends on the size. You can get ounces of gold too.
A standard gold bar.
Sure.
It's 8.
Also, like, what bank has gold bars?
The eagle can lift 3 to 4 pounds.
Dude, it's a strong ass eagle.
No,
Whatever the case.
it's not. We're not bending how a spell works
case,
just to make it fit your crime narrative.
The
That
importance of
made
the-
less sense as it went along.
The importance of the find familiars for the
I'm just
spider that's gonna
imagining
cast
the
charm
eagle
person.
in the vault, like just wailing.
Why is the eagle in the vault? First of all, it was a spider.
You said your eagle's gonna carry it
During
out.
the crime. What
There's
did I
so
say
much
it was
about
gonna
this
be?
that just doesn't make any sense.
Dude, it's a spider. It's gonna cast charm person. That's the only thing it needs to do.
Because here's the problem with what you're saying. Charm person isn't like they're hypnotized and just believe whatever I say now. It's a you are now close good friends. Like, even
gives
if
me
you were a close good
my-
friend, they're not gonna let the person just walk out with a gold bar. Like, that's not how that works.
Dude, they're charmed. I have advantage on my charisma checks with them. I'm walking out of there with a gold bar. That's happening. Alternatively, I'm robbing people on the street. So you take your pick, man. With my gun,
Man,
which is better than an Eldritch Blast.
man, I just wanted to be able to help some people out, to be really good at like linguistics all of a sudden, be an expert in like dead language reading and stuff. And then just be able to make people go nap when they're trying to hurt me, maybe at some point in time. This guy's out here being like, I'm gonna do crimes.
Dude, I'm specifically built for one thing and one thing only, and that's for robbing people. That is specifically what I'm built for, and I'm damn good at it.
In this hypothetical situation.
Sure.
Well, isn't that happenstantical?
So,
all right,
man.
Yeah. There's welcome to Humor Highwire. That's the draft. The Spotify poll this time around is going to be who you thought won the draft, assuming that we remember to put the poll in. Hope you guys.
You're gonna have to mute me for the last 60 seconds.
I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, trying something new, and I failed at it multiple times. So, that's just how this is gonna go. Anyway,
no power.
I have just enough power. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this show. Have a good rest of your day, time, week, whatever you guys need. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye. We're still recording.
Yep. My thing broke again.